This is what I discovered after I started my first business, which is exporting second-hand cars to the world. And then the next business is Work Japan, which is a job matching platform for blue-collar foreigners.
Talk about. Yes. Is it true the government of Japan is willing to pay African men an amount to come and have babies in Japan? Tell them. Because some people are packing their bags right now. For those who don't know, let me teach you. When a Japanese business person hands you the card, you don't take it and put it in your pocket. Even though you know their name.
That's very rude. You should never do that.
It's not rude in a lot of cultures. If Misa hands me a card now, I need to take it, both hands, act surprised, look at it, nod, say thank you before I put it away.
No, you shouldn't be putting it away until we finish the conversation.
Exactly.
I'm not a McKinsey consultant. Okay.
You don't
I didn't do
need to be.
any research or anything. Instantly felt that, okay, this is going to work. That's it.
Tell us about AGASTA.
AGASTA is a used car export company. My parents, they said, why are you touching into used car? Don't touch some dirty things. That was the kind of the mindset those days. There were lots of cars that they had to say to the customer saying, sorry, we cannot buy in. You have to pay because we have to dismantle it. So the customer had to pay for dismantling it. Instead of that, I said, okay, let me take that car because I could see the clear arbitrage and the price difference. So I said, I will export that by myself. This is how I formed AGASTA. In those days, Japan is like some country in Far East. Cultural understanding almost zero. Nobody knows about sashimi or sushi that you like. All the entrepreneurs that I'm meeting were males those days. There was no female entrepreneurs. And they was kind of shocked saying, okay, female can do that? The first entrepreneur I spoke to, he said, okay, I will invest you about $1 million in one shot. So from the very first day I started the company and then till the IPO, it was 7 years. Yes, there was some hiccup, but I did make this happen. I think I'm so fated.
Youngest woman to take company IPO in Japan.
Well, one of the struggle I had as a woman, I was single when I got married. I was single when I went IPO, sorry. And we decided to get married and I wanted to change my name. Changing name was the issue. Before going to the city hall to register my marriage, I had to go to the Tokyo Stock Exchange to ask if I can change my name. What they said is, nobody has done it. So they don't have the experience. And
that makes sense because it's all men.
When I invest, I follow my instinct and I learned that perfect, smart-looking people does not always bring success.
Hi guys. My name is Olu Oyinsan and I'm bringing you this special episode from Tokyo, Japan with a groundbreaking guest. At just 26 years old, she founded AGASTA and eventually became the youngest woman in Japan to take a company public on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Her journey has transcended borders and industries, shaped by her early years in South Africa, and with a firm mission to make Japan's labor market more inclusive. She founded Work Japan, a platform connecting foreign workers with meaningful opportunities, breaking down language and cultural barriers. She is Misa Matsuzaki, Japanese entrepreneur, investor, and a technologist whose career has been nothing short of groundbreaking. Today, Misa is an active venture investor, backing startups and venture capital funds across Asia and Africa, while contributing thought leadership at the World Economic Forum on diversity, technology, and the future of work. Misa Matsuzaki. Welcome, Misa.
Thank you for having me today. Thank you.
Very well. I share your enthusiasm. Japanese style, we have no shoes on. We've been drinking a lot of matcha and eating a lot of sushi. Glad to be here. It's summer in Tokyo, and I'm looking forward to an exciting conversation.
Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by
MoneyPoint.
Quick question. So how long does it take to send money from the UK to Nigeria? That fast. Welcome to the money world. You can now send money from the UK to your friends, family, and businesses in Nigeria with Nigeria's most trusted payments infrastructure.
Misa, I don't want to forget to highlight the fact that you're an icon, a thing of many stories,
Yes.
and probably a Japanese legend. And I'll tell you why. I've spoken to not just foreigners, but a lot of Japanese people in the tech and entrepreneurial and investing ecosystem. And your story is one for the books. For the viewers, if you don't know, Misa is or was and will continue to be the youngest woman to have taken a company public in Japan. Misa, I know you've heard it many times. You're a legend. Congratulations again.
Small company, small established.
Tell us about AGASTA.
Okay, so AGASTA is a used car export company. Okay, and maybe the audience is expecting that I talk about like a heavy loaded tech business, but actually it is not.
No,
okay?
This is real entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it's a business that I started when I was 26, and that was in 1997. Don't count my age. That's old.
No matter what you say, you're 21.
Okay. So there was no tech. There was almost no internet, no PayPal, no fintech. Okay. Just remember that. And so those days, if you look at the Japanese automobile value chains, you have a manufacturer who manufacture a brand new car and sell it, and then people drive the car for several years, and after that, dismantled. Okay, no used car markets. Nowadays, it's opposite. We see more used car than brand new cars sold in Japan market. And even a manufacturer is trying to cut into the ecosystem of circulating the used car. Okay, it's a very different era from these days. And so what happened was, I was, so after graduating my university, I joined a small consulting firm, which was helping the businesses to expand by franchise systems. So I was building franchise system. And I met one founder, which is in Fukushima, north of Japan. And then it's a company called Gulliver International. He had this ideas to expand used car trade-in center, not used car sale, trade-in center by franchise system. So I helped his business expand. And while helping his business expand, there was a car that he wanted to trade in, but could not trade in because there was no value in the resale market in Japan.
Oh, it's definitely not Toyota because they last forever, right?
No. Even Toyota. It looks beautiful and shiny, but there's no market to resell because everybody was into the Japanese brand new car those days.
I see.
Nobody, purchased used car. Even my parents, they said, "Why are you touching into used car? Don't touch some dirty things." That was the kind of the mindset those days. And there were lots of cars that they had to say to the customer saying, "Sorry, we cannot buy in. You have to pay because we have to dismantle it."
Oh.
So the customer had to pay for dismantling it. Instead of that, I said, "Okay, let me take that car," because I could see the clear arbitrage in the price difference. So I said, I will export that by myself. Wow. This is how I formed AGASTA.
Wow. And what was the aha moment? Was it like witnessing this transaction and you're just like, wow, what's happening here? What was the aha moment for you where you said, I'm going to start?
Okay. So I helped them building whole the sales manuals, and I was standing in the store and trading in the car by myself, and then felt, oh, this one, no value, dismantling, really? It's like that every day. And I said, okay, let me start collecting these cars. Simply. Okay, so I'm not a McKinsey consultant. Okay, I didn't do any research or anything. Instantly felt that, okay, this is going to work. That's it.
Wow. Personally, for me, I have a story. One of the most successful companies that I've backed is a company called MoneyPoint, who after about 5 years, the founder became an investor in my fund. Right?
Nice ecosystem. Yes,
exactly.
Yes.
And saying that is a segue to delve into your life now as an investor. You've become what the people that helped you were, right? tell us a little bit about your life investing in other entrepreneurs, and was that just a natural path, or what dragged you into starting to invest in other people?
Okay, so the first venture capital that I invested was B Next, which is focused to investing to India.
So this was a VC fund.
VC fund.
So you invested in a VC fund as an LP. For those who don't know, an LP means limited partner. That's the investors who invest in other investors like us. Okay, so you were an LP in a fund.
Yes.
Okay.
And then this was led by Teru Sato, a genius guy, my friend. And
Okay.
then
Shout out to him.
this was like 15 years ago. He started saying that I want to. He was an entrepreneur also, and we actually he was running an e-commerce, and we did the IPO on the same year, same month, same week.
So he's your IPO twin.
Yes, exactly. We're the IPO buddies, and then running the listed company for a while, he started saying that I want to do more investment into the Asia, India. Okay, those days, no Japanese believed in India. They said it's India too early, it's too messy. Don't go, you will burn.
Yeah.
That kind of things. This is what
Same thing
people
with-
in Africa. So you know,
Correct.
time flies, and okay. And I really believed in his concept. So I said, okay, if you're starting a VC, I'm in.
Wow, interesting.
So didn't know exactly what he's going to do, but I kind of really trusted him. He's really genius, and he's a philosophist. He's a great guy. So I invested money to him. And then what I learned from investing to his venture capital is he hosts an event called B Next Camp every year somewhere in the world. And I try to go there with my husband, with my kid, so that they will, you know, we can all learn about the new things happening in the world, and the leapfrog, you know, story. As you already know, Africa
Yeah.
is a leapfrog story. There's lots of new ideas, new technology that we can learn, and maybe we can adopt in Japan. If we can kick out the legacy, but anyway.
That's another story.
Yes. So I am contributing to this venture capital ecosystem as an LP, but what I'm also doing is if I can help those companies to come into Japan market, then I can be the bridge. So I don't just sit as an LP, but whenever there is a gathering or if they're coming to Japan, I meet them and I introduce to my connections to see, you know, maybe a business collaboration. And that will also help my country as well.
No, absolutely. And just in that sense, I know about your investment in funds. Have you done any investing in single entrepreneurs?
Yes.
Direct investing in
Yes,
entrepreneurs?
I did
Tell us.
several.
Tell us.
I did several. Okay. Success, and then failure, both. I don't remember the failure. Okay.
Good. Forget it.
Yeah.
But there's a science that our brain forgets like traumatic of
Yeah,
bad
exactly.
things, and then just remembers the nice thing. This is
Exactly.
why you don't go back to your ex.
And then I think I'm really good at that. So that's why I can move forward. Yeah. So failure happens, and then success happens.
Correct.
Yes. And if they need my help, then I can help.
Correct.
Yes.
And so how many startups would you say you've invested in, let's say in the last 5 years? And which is your favorite?
Okay, so there's several startups I've invested, and let's say the one that I thought would go very success with the very genius people didn't go successful, and the one that I, you know, invested kind of instantly. Okay, you're saying you're so powerful, you're so energetic. Okay, let me try, and then those went, you know, well and went successfully IPO'd. So maybe I feel like entrepreneurship is not only about your skills, your education, but the grit of, you know, grit of believing that you can do it, or you have to do it, or find a solution no matter what it is.
You have one of the very unfamiliar routes to entrepreneurial success. Many people might not know that you had an early life in South Africa.
Yes, I did.
When I also heard it, I was like, South Africa, that's interesting. Let's talk about it. Tell us a little bit about the time you spent in South Africa. I know it was early life. What was it like at that time? What was going on in South Africa? And how did this shape, obviously you're back in Tokyo now, but how did this shape your life?
Okay, so my father was working for a trading company, and he was transferred to work in South Africa, and whole of the family moved there when I was 6, 7 years old.
Wow, that's pretty early.
Yeah, and that was don't count my age, but that was during 1970s.
Well, you look like 21, so I'm sure.
Of course, forever 21. And then yes, so it's during the apartheid era. Okay, so it's not the South Africa that you see right now. It's a different time, and so I was 6, 7 years old. So the first school I went, the first education started on me was in South Africa. So literally, I started learning writing in alphabet.
Wow.
So, and then after that, I was, brought back into the Japanese education. So this is kind of a starting of my life. And we were sent to a local school. Only my sister and myself was the only Japanese in that school. And I remember those days, the teacher at the school on the first day at my school introduced me to the other students, saying that we have a new friend from Far East.
Oh.
So in those days, Japan is like some country in Far East, and cultural understanding almost zero.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nobody knows about sashimi or sushi that you like. It was a day like that. But the thing is, from the day one, I blended into the community, and I felt like they accepted my difference. Okay, although they were under apartheid and there was differences between the colored and non-colored, but for the non-colored society, I was simply accepted there. Okay, and then from that learning, we stayed there for 3 years. From that experience, I felt this is what I discovered after I started my first business, which is exporting second-hand cars to the world. And then the next business is Work Japan, which is a job matching platform for the blue-collar foreigners. Yes. Okay. So I kind of learned that since I lived there and I was kind of grounded there and kind of influenced to mix with the differences, and because of that is South Africa accepting differences. When I discovered that my boundary between the differences is different from the boundary that very homogeneous Japanese people have. So that is one of the biggest influence that was grounded into me during my stay in South Africa.
This is, as you spoke, I'm trying to blend the ideas of being in apartheid South Africa, probably the cultural identity or the identity challenges at that time. Am I on this side, or am I on that side, or am I just a welcome foreigner? And how it kind of shaped your culture, right? Spending a lot of time here. This is my second time in Japan this year, and the Japanese culture is unique, very trust-based, highly fiscal demonstration of respect based, and the relationship, the power distance index also is kind of high. And this is similar in some ways, but very different from being in most parts of Africa, especially apartheid South Africa. What were the differences that you saw having formative years in South Africa and then coming back to Tokyo? Did you have like a cultural shock?
Yes, I did. Actually, moving into the African community, South African community, wasn't really hard for me. I could simply blend in. They just accepted the difference. That's it. And then when I returned back, I felt like I'm a stranger.
And what age were you when you came back?
I think it was like a fourth grade of primary school, so 9, 10.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. So I felt like I'm complete strangers. There was so many rules that I didn't know, and you have to listen rather than pursuing whatever you want to do. And you have so it was kind of a big pressure on me at school that I have to follow all the instruction, which I was not trained to do that.
Yeah.
So I kind of had a hard time. Also, I could feel that the friends in the classes looking at me, feeling like you are different from us. So this is the basis of the Japanese, so homogeneous. They try to find the differences rather than trying to find some common.
So if I could say you were an immigrant in your own country.
Yes, yes.
Basically. So Misa, we've spoken about how you felt like an immigrant in your own country. Coincidentally, or not, you are the founder of Work Japan, a company or an institution that helps immigrants settle and find tangible work in Japan, basically building for yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about how that's your feeling of almost cultural identity translated into or influenced your need to build Work Japan, and a little bit about the work that you wanted to solve for?
Okay, yes. So Work Japan is a job matching platform for blue-collar foreigners to find job in Japan. We have about 2.3 million foreigners, workforce, foreigners who have a work permit living in Japan. Okay, this is the static. And so our population is about 130 million. Out of that, 60 million is said to be working. So less than half is working. And then there's also a static that by 2030, we have a shortage of 100,000 workers.
Wow.
Okay, so we have a shortage of 100,000 workers. How are we going to fill this gap? Okay, government is trying to pump the birth rate. Okay, that is not easy in any developed countries. Yes. Okay. Of course, we can drag the elderly people to come as a workforce, but this is also not enough. So we need more workforce from outside the country. Okay. So this is where we are, and also, when you look at the 2.3 million foreigners living in Japan, they have an issue of finding their own job because the language barrier, they don't know which job will match to them. So I kind of felt that a platform like Work Japan can help the foreigners to get to the right job, to survive here in Japan, and also it will help my own country. Yeah. So this is the whole concept of Work Japan.
Interesting. So I'll tell you, there's a meme flowing around on Instagram and TikTok saying the government of Japan is willing to pay African men an amount to come and have babies in Japan. Is it true? Tell them.
Yes.
Because some people are packing their bags right now. So you need to tell them to stop.
Okay. I hope it will happen if it is announced. But the thing is, so we have two issues in Japan to push the migrant workers coming in. Okay. One is the systems, the visa systems, work permit, still not kind of really helping. And then another thing is the mindset of the employer or the whole nation to accept different people and integrate foreigner into the society. So this is what we are struggling. But I'm hoping, since it's my own country, I'm hoping that we will survive. So I'm hoping that we will learn, we will get used to have foreigners in a society, how to, work together with them, collaborate with them, so that we can make them as a force and also enrich our own countries.
Interesting. So tell us a little bit about just the trajectory of Work Japan, how it started, how it was going, and where Work Japan is today.
Okay, so this relates to my angel investor part. So I had a chance to invest to a company in India called Work India. Okay, they are the similar HR platform trying to support the blue collar workers in India to find jobs. Okay, blue collar workers, they do not know what type of job really matched to them. So they had a great system to navigate them to apply to the good job so that they can increase and improve the hiring ratios. Okay, so they had this in the tech systems, and then I invested to them and learned and kind of felt that, okay, we need this in Japan. We have to support the migrant workers to get a better job. So this is the underlining story of why I jumped into this business.
Interesting. And so what are the things that you found challenging, and what are you most proud of?
Okay, so the biggest challenges we have is we need more employer who are open to hire foreigners, okay? And also the visa systems. So I'm repeatedly saying this. Our platform is working very well, but the challenges is the Japan market is not fully open up for hiring foreigners. So if this changes, I'm sure we can see a huge growth in the migrant workers.
Interesting. So for context, we actually are today in and around the TICAD, which is the development conference between Tokyo and the African continent. One country and one continent, but it makes a lot of sense.
One city, actually. Yes.
And one thing I found very interesting was the turnout. For every African policymaker or businessman that was there, there was probably 20 or 30 interested, curious Japanese businessman, businesswoman, or investor. It kind of, on high level, kind of gave the sense that Japan is open for business. That's on the entrepreneurial side. On the policy side, in some countries, some African countries also, we noticed that Japan has eased the visa processes. And this is over the course of the year, right? And I was also sharing some gossip with you that...
I hope it's not a gossip.
I was sharing some gossip with you that there was some news that the government of Japan had dedicated a city, Kisarazu, for African migrants. And then you told me Kisarazu is this tiny, but at least it's a good start. Do these shifts, do they encourage you, or do you just want to see more action?
It's hard to say. Okay, so one city mayor decided to accept the migrant worker from Nigeria. Okay, good story. And I hope this
Cool story.
yes, I hope this will be continuously copied by other cities and became a whole nation movement. If that happens, that means we have opened up.
I see. And what about culturally, right? So in our fund, we do have a number of Japanese investors now. And it's also been a learning curve, right?
For you, that's what you mean?
Yes, right? For me and some other businesses who do business with Japanese companies. For example, it was actually a learning process to know how to receive business cards. For those who don't know, let me teach you. When a Japanese business person hands you the card, you don't take it and put it in your pocket. Even though you know their name.
That's very rude.
Yes.
You should never do that.
Right. It's not rude in a lot of cultures, but it's rude in Japan. When they hand it to you, even though you know their name 100,000 times, if Misa hands me a card now, I need to take it, both hands, act surprised, look at it, nod, say thank you before I put it away.
No, you shouldn't be putting it away until we finish the conversation.
Exactly. Right? And so these are just some of the things where if you don't know, you can have the best intentions, but still not be able to culturally integrate, right? I was an immigrant in the US. And even though it was easier, but there were also things that you might not know, right? Your boss says, hey, do you want to grab lunch? It's not a question.
You have to.
Yes,
You
it's
must.
because she has something she wants to discuss with you over lunch
Okay.
or some work.
Okay.
So you don't say, "Oh yeah, I brought my own food. It's fine." No, it means get out there.
Okay,
Let's
there's
go and get
intention
lunch.
behind. Okay.
Exactly. And so I feel like these things exist in many different cultures. I just think also, especially because Asia might be a little bit far from the rest of the world, it's the diffusion of that culture is slower, right? And so where are the places you think that foreigners or migrants actually struggle in integrating? Because it's one thing to say, hey, I'm hoping more Japanese business people and employers take in immigrants and foreigners. Where are the places you think they struggle? If you were going to give someone looking to come and work and live in Japan, maybe 2 tips, what would it be to quickly integrate?
First thing is language. Second thing is attitude, which is so difficult to adopt. I don't think if I have adopted 100%, even I lived here for many years. Okay, so the second thing is I would like to urge to the employer, don't think that everyone will adopt to you. You have to adopt to others if you need to have people working in your company. This is what I want to emphasize.
Very, 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 very clear. And what progress have you seen with the work that you've done at Work Japan?
Okay, so of course, employer will jump into hiring foreigners because of the needs, okay. We're homogeneous. We want to work with Japanese, okay. But if you don't have any Japanese applying to your company, then what do? And some employer has made the decisions, okay. At the beginning, they struggle. Even the company owner decided to hire foreigner, maybe the team member do not accept. Okay, it's a chaos, isn't it? But after a few years, what the employer come back to me, and I feel so relieved, is they find one foreigners, which is good and responsible, and he trained them, and he managed to make him a leader. Once you have one key foreigner, which is a leader working in a company, then it's just a chain of new people coming in. So I've seen these kind of new transition happening, and I hope to see this more.
Knock on wood.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship is so hard, and what makes it hardest is the chasm is like a big gutter between the idea and the execution of that idea. This is where most ideas go to die. And so, can you tell us a little bit about what happened between when you said, I'm going to start this, and probably when you started shipping the first 50 cars, for example?
Okay.
Like, tell us that story. Don't leave out the hard parts.
Okay. So luckily, supply part, I had a backup. Luckily, okay, I didn't have to worry about the supplier, and they're happy to supply me.
Of course, because
Yes.
they would have crafted it.
Yes, and but the hard part was finding the customer. Okay, there's no internet those days, no web research. Okay, what I did is I went to an embassy and asked, "Do you have a list of a used car dealer in your country?" And then this is how I started. Okay, and they gave me a physical paper list.
What embassy did you go to first?
Sri Lanka. So Sri Lanka was the first country I exported.
All sorts of random information that's coming out here. Why did you think of Sri Lanka? You had a friend in Sri Lanka, a boyfriend in Sri Lanka. What happened?
None, but kind of feel okay. It has to be a right-hand card. Okay, and then it has to. We have to follow maybe the right word, the British influenced British colony, because if it's colonized by Germany, you will have a left-hand drive card.
Yes,
Okay, so no, not Nigeria, but Kenya and Tanzania, Uganda.
And South Africa.
Yeah, those countries. So went to several embassies and got the list, and then with those lists, it's a paper list, no database or anything those days. So we started to send the fax manually, saying that, do you want to buy a car from Japan?
Wow.
And then, okay, it's a kind of a direct mail, but fax DM.
So this is cold calling before cold calling.
Yeah, exactly. Calling too expensive. There's no Skype those days.
This is freezing calling.
Yes. Actually, speaking of the, communication cost. So those days there was no Skype, no Wi-Fi, no internet was there, but we never thought that internet would become a phone call,
Yeah.
And then we had to use an international phone line. So we were paying about 3 million Japanese yen per month for just the phone calls, which is like 30,000 US dollar nowadays.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a burn rate.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we didn't want to waste on speaking on phone, but on the fax it's easier. So we started to find customers who are open to buy car from Japan, but of course they wanted to get assurance of the quality. So this was a hard part that we worked on to make sure the quality is assured without making them see it. So sending photo was not the even an option those times. Okay, no PNGs. Okay,
Wow.
no
So
option.
just the specs.
Yeah, spec on the fax list. Okay, so if I speak about, I was using fax, which was the latest technology those days to do my business. People ask me what fax is, because nowadays young people don't know what fax is.
I use fax, and
do you use fax in your daily life?
Not anymore.
Oh,
but because I'm also American, America kind of is weird, jumping ahead of technology and lagging behind.
Really? Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Up until 5-10 years ago, a lot of Americans still use fax.
Oh.
I'm sure a lot still do now. It's just less, yes.
Okay.
And also the payment infrastructure in America is one of the least behind in the world, even till today.
That is where the fintech come from.
Correct. That's why I said it's a weird mix, right? So you have ACH doing T+1, T+2, right, in the US. Yes. And then you have SpaceX.
Wow.
Right? So
Diversities, yes.
So it's a crazy mix. But yes, that's probably why I still used fax more commonly. Some kids born in Africa have never seen a fax machine and will never see a fax machine. And it's kind of just like the leapfrogging. But I'm sure if you're born in the US today, you might still see a fax machine.
Okay.
Right. And you might still see a fax on. But that's just America. Very unique. Right.
Okay.
And it's, just thinking about times where I'm sitting here and think, oh, you're going to send a picture of the car. And it just becomes so profound about what has changed about entrepreneurship and what hasn't changed. Right? For example, we're going into another fundraising year. And my partner, Francesco, is building an AI tool that goes around the world, scrapes the internet, finds investors who are similar to us in terms of the kind of investments they've done, their character score, and emails them. Hey, do you want to co-invest with B Capital, or do you want to invest in one of our funds?
Oh, so CRM attached.
And then it goes straight into our CRM also.
Wow.
As a lead.
Wow.
And we have the same thing on lead generation, pipeline generation. The agent goes around and scrubs very tiny think pieces, LinkedIn, Twitter if we have the API, and just
Bundle
things
all
that
the
have been
information.
written about startups. And it brings those startups based on some criteria right into our pipeline for CRM, right? So this is what cold calling looks like in 2025 plus, right?
It's more human-based, analog-based.
Yeah, but the thing that doesn't change is the grit. Where are your customers? And you have to find every damn way to get in front of them. And this is, I think, this is the lesson of entrepreneurship that I can see here. Are they at an embassy? Are they in a different country? You can't send them a picture, no problem. We'll send them a fax.
No PNGs, yes.
Right? So it's just so profound to see that and just kind of realize again that entrepreneurship, if you want to get it done, you will. Right? And so thank you so much for like just getting to that. I would say that was your MVP.
Yes. Okay.
Right? Let's talk about going to scale. So now you've figured out how to reach some of these guys. You've found some problems in the initial product of, okay, how do we know that quality is good? Yeah, we wanted the car. What were the little things you had to take out of the way to create this product that could now scale? And what were the problems you had scaling the business?
Okay. The biggest challenges we had is the fund. To run a used car business, you need to have a huge amount of fund. Okay. Although we tried to do it with a less stock holding, but you have to have this lead time of the, purchasing the cars and then getting the cash return paid to you. So you have a lot of amount receivable in your balance sheet.
Yeah.
So the cash was the issue. Okay. We did some bank loan, but it was very small. We didn't have venture capital those days. Okay. What era was it with no venture capital? Okay.
I'm sure maybe the HP deal.
Oh,
Dell and HP.
Yeah, okay. But we're not tech companies. Yes,
Yeah.
no softwares. So no venture capital. So the capital was the issue that I really struggled. So that's why I felt like we should go IPO. One thing. Okay. But of course, to go IPO, you also had to scale. So you had to grow your company. So what I did is I went to a private investors. Which was, I think, we didn't have the word angel investor, just their investor.
So you did the first friends and family round.
Yeah, kind of. So there was no word of Series A or Series B. I don't know what it was, but I did
Pre-seed.
kind of. So I did only one round of funding, and with that funding, I did IPO that was 1.5 years.
Wow. So tell us, who did you go to? If you can't mention some names, that's fine. Who did you go to? How did you, because there are a lot of entrepreneurs from around the world watching this who are sitting there and thinking, I have this idea. I have some pieces. I need to take this to the next level, right? I'm stuck for funding. We've gotten to the edge of our bootstrapping. And so this will be interesting for them. Who did you contact? How did you come up with the people that you reached out to? How did you convince them to put money together? What kind of vehicles did you use to put this money together? And yeah, just curious about that.
Oh, okay. It's just simple. My connection is limited. If you look back those days, but I knew some entrepreneurs who have already went IPO and has some kind of a cash willing to help others, similar to who I am right now, maybe. And so I went to speak to them, and it's not like nowadays. I already had the business, I already had the revenue, I already had a cash flow.
So what kind of scale were you at this time? Okay, let's talk in terms of like number of cars you were shipping out every year. Revenue, cash flow. Okay. I don't remember.
Give us
like a big ballpark.
I don't remember in detail, but I'm sure the revenue was about $15 million in now rate. So
and are you talking gross revenue or your share of the revenue that you're taking?
The full revenue, revenue of the car sales.
So this is like GMV?
Yes, kind of. I mean, okay, yeah, exactly. And so showing that I kind of felt that all the entrepreneurs that I'm meeting were males those days. There was no female entrepreneurs, so males, and they was kind of shocked, saying, "Okay, a female can do that." Yeah, I did it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, even in Japan at the time.
Yeah. So I could convince them that this will scale if I have more cash, because I've done a small, 15.
Did you do a deck?
Okay, there was no deck.
I have so many questions, Misa.
Okay, there was not even a word called deck. That's a PowerPoint presentation, like,
Executive summary.
There's no Figma, or there's no Miro, or no tool like this, and you have to print it out and show it, saying that my PowerPoint presentation.
What do you call it? Oh, PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
Or proposal.
Yeah, the proposal. Yeah, there's no deck. There's no word like a terms like angel investor. There's no term sheet. But the first entrepreneur I spoke to, he said, okay, I will invest you about $1 million US.
Wow.
In one shot. And he became the lead investor for me.
In your pre-seed round.
Yeah, I mean, pre-seed round, which was the last round. And we went IPO.
Yeah, and we need to talk about that.
Yes. So it happened. So from the very first day I started the company and then till the IPO, it was 7 years. And I think, yes, there was some hiccup, but I did made this happen very quickly, and luckily with the support of my staff and also the investor. And I was so lucky. I think I'm so fated that the fate.
I know. But you're also, your story is a story of, boldness. Because one thing you also notice that I've noticed in Japan is that the corporates or corporations are a lot more than startups. So most of the products people use are provided by large corporations. It's not a very fashionable career path to become a startup bro, right? It's
especially those days.
Exactly, especially those days. Even now,
Yes.
it's more fashionable to go work for Mitsubishi or a big shipping company and wear a suit. And so I can imagine then. So it's a story of grit and a lot of boldness. So you can say you were lucky. I'm not buying it. But that's so. And the reason why I want to dig a little bit into this funding history is because a lot of entrepreneurs feel that you need to raise multiple rounds of funding to build a successful or sustainable business. And this thinking also has gotten VCs a bad rep, because some entrepreneurs feel that their success is in the hands of venture capitalists, because they feel, you didn't do my Series A. I've seen companies write, "Oh, we're shutting down this company because we haven't been able to raise." It's like, but you raised the round before, right? And it's almost like the entrepreneur's success is in the hand of the VC, which I don't quite believe, but there are nuances to it. And so this is a story of someone who got her first shot at investors where VCs, the hated VCs, didn't even exist, right?
Yes.
So there was nobody to blame.
Yeah.
And so you took that and built that into a company that could go to the public markets. What are your thoughts for entrepreneurs thinking about multiple funding rounds or not? What would you say are the pros and cons?
In my case, there was no choice. Nowadays, you have too much options. Okay. So maybe, as you said, there's the pros and cons of having too much options. If you don't have options, you have to just struggle. So, but also the role of the VC has given more, has given more opportunities for the users to start entrepreneurship and go into the journey, and they will help them scale. So I would see more pro side than cons.
I see.
For example, if I had a VC, the VC that we see nowadays,
Like if I invested in you then.
yeah, right, then you could have supported me. How do I scale in a different ways? For example, if I talk about scaling in Africa, that was a struggle. Can I tell you this story?
Please.
So, when we entered the market in Africa, that was the timing that internet started. Okay.
Dial up.
Yeah. Yes. kind of. Yes, kind of. And then, nowadays the website started. Okay. Website meaning with the website with the shopping cart started. There was no payment gateway attached. Well, we wanted to try new things, so we built a shopping mall e-commerce site. It's not a commerce; it's just a directory.
Landing page?
Directory of the cars. Maybe you can say that in a way.
Okay.
But we named it Pick and Buy, which is after Pick and Pay in South Africa. Shopping.
Oh, Pick and Pay has the best steak, by the way.
Yeah,
But that's another story.
Okay, so we named it Pick and Buy, so people make it familiarized, and we started marketing. But there's no marketing way because we had the internet shopping the car directly on the website, but on the Africa side, they don't have so much access to it. Having access to internet was not
And the
common.
bandwidth.
Yeah. So what they did is you had to go to the internet cafe to access to the internet.
Yes.
That was the era. Okay. So there's no SEO. There's no Google ads. So what we did is we bought the billboard from the airport to the city in Kenya
Wow.
with my photo on it and saying, "Buy Japan."
Do you have a picture of it?
Yes.
We'll show it to you guys.
I mean, later I will find it. So we had this billboard everywhere in the city. Very analog marketing, but that was the kind of the latest
And
things.
was there like a phone number to call?
Of course, and then www.pickandbuy.com.
Wow.
Okay. It's very analog, but that was how you optimize your marketing in the local systems. Yes.
Interesting. And so you had to use that first round to basically scale all the way because you knew that was your golden ticket
Yes.
to building that company.
Yes.
Interesting. I'm stressed thinking about it for you.
Okay.
Okay. Let's forget about the struggles.
Okay.
Youngest woman to take a company IPO in Japan. How was that for you?
I mean, I was doing that what I wanted to do. So people say you're unique. No woman has done that. Okay, etc. But I was doing what I felt that I should do and I want to do. That it. Well, one of the struggle I had as a woman is so I was single when I got married. I was single when I went IPO. Sorry, and then after that I got married. Okay, and then my marriage, pregnancy came first and got married. Okay, it happens in nowadays, yes. Okay. So I was pregnant. I found pregnant, and we decided to get married. And I wanted to change my name. In Japanese system, female has to change a name.
In most parts of the world.
Yeah. Okay. And so changing name was the issue. So before going to the city hall to register my marriage, I had to go to the Tokyo Stock Exchange to ask if I can change my name.
Wow.
And because, we have to do a press release.
Yeah, and
before,
all the paperwork.
Yeah, all the paperwork. And what they said is, nobody has done it. So they don't have the experience. Okay. And then
That makes sense because it's all men.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And then what should I do? I'm pregnant. I have to go to City Hall to register. My husband is, this is my baby's father. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then they said, okay, nobody has done it. We don't know how to do it.
Wow.
Okay. So what they said is, please consult the FSA. So we had to go to the FSA.
FSA is like Financial Services
Yeah. So
Authority?
so the upper section of the Tokyo Stock Exchange. So we had to consult with them. Mm-hmm. And finally, they discussed for a few months and found
Few months?
to find a way, what the proper way of press releasing that the female entrepreneur is changing name.
Wow.
Okay, but so what they did is you can say that you're changing name, but you don't write that you're getting married. So we just said that the name change of the major shareholder, and that was kind of very misleading announcement.
Wow.
So yeah, so from this experience, I learned that okay, Japan is not ready for was not ready for having a female entrepreneurs being listed, but I think I kind of opened
That
the
door.
windows. Yes.
I'm sure there's a process now.
Yeah.
They just have the blueprint. Well, I hope they just don't say shareholder now. People like getting married and changing the name.
Yeah.
And this dives into a more interesting issue just around the world, right? Of female entrepreneurship and the wave of giving people more agency over what they want to do. Some people want to go into entrepreneurship. Some people want to live like just only a family life. I personally believe in just allowing a system that allows people to achieve their dreams, whatever it is, right? That freedom. How has that changed over the years? And what would be your advice to female entrepreneurs coming up just around the world who kind of see entrepreneurship like a boys' club, right? What were your challenges and what would your advice be?
Okay. Actually, I didn't feel that I had so much challenges. Maybe because, my background is South Africa.
Okay.
So I know that I was different from others, but I didn't care. I just pursued what I wanted to do, and I feel many of my female entrepreneur friends are similar to that. But I have a daughter, one daughter. She's 17 years old, turning 18 soon, and I don't know if she will go into the entrepreneurship. She's very much into art, so I don't know what she will do in the future. But I want her to do whatever she feels she wants to do, regardless of her gender. And I think she will do that. And there's no easy way, but if you see more people doing it, then you will have influence, and you can influence the world, saying that it's okay for any genders, any genders to do whatever you want to do.
Absolutely. And I think maybe this is why Providence is making us to talk to you today, because somebody somewhere needs to hear it. That sometimes even though there are challenges in some parts of the world, that some of the challenges can be self-imposed mentally, right? I think it's probably the way to go, not to preempt the problem, but to be free and go. And then if you face challenges, then you sort it out at the point of getting there. Yeah, that is so profound. Thank you so much. I was on a podcast as a guest on your side called Afropolitan about 3 weeks ago. I spoke about my challenges trying to help Tosin and the team at Money Point to raise their first round. And I would go to investors and they would ask me, did he go to Stanford?
Oh,
right?
Okay, a
So
group.
we had these problems initially. By the way, that company has crossed $200 million in revenue and is now a unicorn. But this brings us to a more systemic issue in venture capital, right? And just the investing landscape. A lot of biases and pattern matching. Have you experienced this, and what do you think is the solution?
Maybe you have to listen to the background or the history of the entrepreneur, not just looking at their educational background, maybe family background or something. Then you can feel the passion of why you want to do it.
Because it's actually, for example, I think we have one of the higher performing funds, not just in Africa, globally. But we didn't look like the guys who would return a fund or 50 or 100x, because even though we did go to average schools, we didn't have this stellar resume from like 10 years in A16Z or Sequoia. Oh, they're going to start an Africa
Flashy,
fund.
beautiful.
Yes, we didn't. And some people still backed us, right? And I think up until now, we've repaid their faith. Probably performing better than a bunch of the people who looked the part. And it's also kind of influenced our investing style. But this is still a big problem in investing ecosystem. It's still a big problem where people want you to look a certain way. Like, I know there's an American entrepreneur who probably is in jail now, who raised money by looking like Steve Jobs. You might know her. I don't want to mention the name.
Yes,
right?
yes.
And investors lost hundreds of millions of dollars.
The health stick.
And it looks like that stick is still not enough. We're still looking for people who look like Steve Jobs, went to school like Steve Jobs, dropped out of Stanford, PhD. It's all those things. Where do you think there's hope somewhere? Or do you keep having to have these stories of investors burning their fingers by pattern matching? What do you think?
Okay, I'm sure you have the better answer than me. I can only talk from my instinct. So when I invest, I follow my instinct, and I learned that the perfect, smart-looking people does not always bring success. That is one thing I learned. I mean, okay, it doesn't mean that they would never, but it doesn't mean that it's the perfect, 100% accurate criteria.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
And I want to know the answer so that I can be successful in my future investments. Yes.
I also don't, because I think I might have fallen into that same category if not for my personal life story. Right? And I think my personal life story kind of teaches me as an investor to look out for things outside the things that people usually look out for. I would be very stupid not to learn from my own life, right? That I actually believe that we are one of the really good investors out there, but the truth is we didn't look it when we came out to raise the first. And that's why we had such a difficult fundraising. We couldn't get money from institutions because it's like, now it's changing because we're getting a longer track record. But it's also not just going to disappear overnight. And I think it's a blessing that people like us are investors because we can break that generational cycle, right? But yeah, it was just a very very interesting thought in how entrepreneurs look at other entrepreneurs, right? The last thing I wanted to talk about, bringing it home, we do have a lot of African viewers. You have dipped your toes into supporting the next generation of African founders through a fund that is run by my dear friend, Satoshi Shinada.
Yes.
Satoshi-san.
Satoshi-san, yes. He's a crazy Japanese icon.
Yes, another one. And you are backing a lot of African entrepreneurs by your investment in that fund, the Keppel Africa Ventures Fund. Tell us how that came about, why you're making that investment, right? And what drew you to that? What are you trying to achieve?
Okay, so Satoshi was introduced to me through Teru Sato. Okay, and Teru one day came to me and said, Misa, I think I found a great fund for you. And he invested, and he said, Misa, you will love him and you should invest to him. And I met him on Zoom call. He was in Nigeria, Lagos. Okay, he spoke to me like 30 minutes and I said, I'm in.
Wow.
I kind of instantly felt that this is right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some of the work, I know Keppel Africa Ventures has invested in over 50 startups on the African continent. East, West, North Africa, and a lot of companies that are making a lot of impact. We're also co-investors in MoneyPoint, who's serving over 10 million customers in Nigeria, right? Receive, accept payments, and just be able to do economic activity. How do you feel about all the first and second generation impact that you're making in places outside Tokyo?
I am really excited about, Africa is kind of my second home country, yes.
No, first home.
Okay,
This is your second home.
Yes, and I'm really happy to see the changes and the new generation building the country. It's like Japan also had that kind of era after the World War II, or after we had 260 years of isolation, and after that they started to learn to the West and started to build the railways and the ports, ship ports, so that kind of things. And I feel like it's an era in Africa. It's an era of building the country, and the startups can be involved in that. Where in Japan, startups, country is already built, don't touch it, kind of things.
Yeah.
We cannot touch, meaning that we don't see so much scaling startup. That's one issue we have here, because it's so crowded. Everything is so congested. In Africa, it's open. So if you have a passion, you can do a lot of things. And with the latest technology, because you don't have anything built.
Correct.
Yes.
You don't have to use fax.
Yes. Yes. So I just see opportunities. I know many large corporations, Japanese corporations, say that Africa is the risk. There might be a coup d'etat. Could be, but it's just a hiccup.
Correct.
And they will keep growing. So it's just a potential. And I feel like my connection that I am building with Africa relationship will also help my country, as I just said. And also, if I can pass this relationship to the next generation, like my daughters or my friend kids' generation, then we can enrich the two countries, two continent or two island, whatever relationship.
Absolutely. On a parting note for entrepreneurs, you have a lot of your work, both with AGASTA, with Work Japan, with your investment in funds outside Japan, has been kind of building a bridge between different countries, either it's Sri Lanka, either it's Kenya, that's Nigeria, with Japan. And a lot of your work also outside day work has been connecting with entrepreneurs from the US, from Africa, from the rest of Asia, and kind of building that bridge between Japan. And it's kind of given Japan is open for business, and I'm open as a connector. What would be your advice for companies that are building outside Japan? Because I know there's a lot of interest with Japanese corporates now, with startups around the world. What would be your advice for entrepreneurs building startups around the world on how to tap into the Japanese market?
It might be a little bit tough. Okay, the reason is the perceptions of Africa toward the Japanese corporate. It's still, there's a barrier.
Sure.
Okay, 15 years ago, people said, don't go to India, you will burn your finger. Nowadays, everybody's rushing to India. Okay, so the day will come. But at this point, maybe it is a bit tough. So if you want to come to Japan, maybe find the right contact. So we have the tendency to listen to the people who you trust. So as for the African entrepreneurs to get into Japan market and collaborate with the large corporation, it might be a little bit tough. The reason is the perception of Africa. So 15 years ago, when I invested in India, people said, okay, don't go there, you will burn your fingers, kind of things. And then, of course, in the future, nowadays everybody goes to India, and then that will follow by Africa in the future. But now, if you want to collaborate with the Japanese corporation, maybe you should have a right person to put you in touch with the right management of the company. Also, you have to be a little patient enough,
That's the
or
key
very
word.
patient enough how to talk with the Japanese companies. Okay, and on the other side, I would like to emphasize to the Japanese companies that if you think too much, you will lose the opportunity. But anyway,
That's very key. And we're seeing more interest, especially in venture capital and private equity from Japan. Over the sidelines of the TCAD, we saw a public sector loan of about $300 million to the Nigerian government. MOL, SBI, and JICA, which is the Japanese DFI, announced the commitment to some venture capital funds in Africa. We, as We Capital, we've had some Japanese interest and family office investors in our fund. The interest is growing. What do you think is driving this, and how can we supercharge this momentum?
okay, so if you look at the Nikkei newspaper, our business newspaper, okay, these 2 weeks, no news of Israel, no news of Ukraine, all about Africa, ticket. Okay, so it's like a festival going on, and people feel like we have to do announcement, we have to sign MOU. But I've also seen that MOU is just a MOU and nothing happened. So
These are the similarities between two countries.
yeah, so I hope it will not end up just like as a festival, but in reality, some action should start. So if you have signed something with the Japanese corporation or either the government, then please be engaged and don't just wait that Japan will decide or make a movement, push them, engaged. Then maybe you will get the outcome.
So I've heard, be patient, push, and engage. Thank you so much, Misa.
Thank you so much.
I want to tell you again, you're an inspiration to people everywhere in the world, entrepreneurs, builders, investors, and women. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time
Thank
to
you.
talk to lowly me. I'm going to take your message across the world. And I wish you the rest of a humid Tokyo summer.
Yeah.
See you again.
Hope you can survive.
I'm surviving quite well. Hope I see you again soon. I packed some matcha to go back home with.
Oh, nice.
When it's done, I'm going to come back
Okay.
and get more.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.